Hello, everybody. This is
Hello.
Lunch Hour with your host. I'm Max Noir. I'm here with my co-host Edwin Rogers from VR Video, and today our guest is Vivian Chazen. Now, Vivian is sort of like the mother of dragons for the VR industry. I asked her to give me. I asked her to give me a title, so her title is a whole list of things. She works for. I want to lift you up as high as I possibly can. So Vivian works for a nonprofit serving older adults. She's a content director for VRespawn. She does marketing and media for VR events. She has her own talk show called The Hive, which you should all go and follow. And she's a shoutcaster and former captain of the Colettos, which is a VR Esports team. So, Vivian, how are you today?
Tired. I don't know why. I just feel suddenly tired.
I'm sorry I reminded you of all of your responsibilities.
No, I'm doing good. It's a lot of stuff is wrapping up, so I feel much better, I suppose.
Yeah. I see you're sporting your VRespawn jacket there.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know what we were exactly going to focus on, so I have a whole closet. If you wanted to focus on something else, I can go change right now.
Yeah, maybe we should do some outfit changes.
That's not planned. Okay, got it.
I think maybe we should show people a little bit about what you guys do. Want to take a look?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
All right.
Put your hands up.
Yeah, looks like we were, doing the Zoom before it was cool. Kind of absolutely necessary. Basically.
I feel like this is trendsetters.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So can you tell us a little bit about the work you're doing with VRespawn?
Sure. Well, VRespawn is quite a lot of people, and it actually started out as a community, like a community, period. And it was started by Kier, who you might know as Pooh Nanners, who's like the legendary shoutcaster that he is, and player, world champion for one of the VR Esports, a Sprint Vector, I believe it was. And so he started it as a way to make sure that like we can focus on VR aspects of esports because it's huge, right? Esports is huge. It's like all over. It's global, and it's like bigger than traditional physical sports. And so he wanted to create something that really focused on the VR part of it, not just like gaming. And I started The Hive like in 2017. So I focus more on social VR. And nothing too physical, just kind of like hanging out and chatting and exploring social VR places. And so we kind of joined forces because it was two different unique productions, him focusing on esports and me doing social VR, but they have a lot to do with one another, right? So a lot of people play VR to socialize, and and the gaming world is often different from the people who do social VR or the other, things we do in the other stuff I do in VR as well. Yeah. But this allowed us to kind of do both of it at once for our clients or for us. We do things like productions inside of VR for outside events. So it's very meta. Like let's take Onward, the one that I shoutcast for mostly, and play. Onward is FPS. So we did a tournament. So we took one of the maps from Onward and we put it into Altspace. That we totally did, by the way. Okay, totally did not. We totally own those assets, which are public. It's just something that you can download,
Yeah.
And so we uploaded it and optimized it because in Altspace it needed to accommodate people who are in the Gear VR and it was also in 2D, and so it had to accommodate for a lot of different headsets or modes of entry. And then we had the casters inside Allspace, but then the live tournament was being casted live and Onward. So then we took those streams and streamed it into a screen in Allspace. So you could join Allspace.
Inception.
Yeah. So like come on into Allspace, into the Onward map to watch them play Onward live while they're shoutcasting it. And no drugs involved. So yeah.
That's
like
amazing.
Stuff like that. Yeah, like just get crazy.
What doesn't she do?
There's a lot I don't do. There's a lot that I mean, it makes it. You kind of like make it sound like I'm doing a lot of it. I just kind of like stand around the people who are doing a lot of it. You know what I mean? Like, we have people who like Kier is the most tech savviest of all tech people that I know because he's so good at it, and he does it like it's just nothing. It's just like it's as if it's like belongs in his brain or something.
Yeah.
And like when he tries to tell you, I'm like, I don't have that comprehension skill like level. So he consults a lot for people who need to do high level production involving VR and then outside of VR, and because his brain is just so like attuned to that. And then we have streamers who, they stream regularly to their Twitch channels, and they get, a good following, and they do it regularly. So they've got that down, and they specialize in mixed reality, So, and then like the production team, like, so The Hive was a show that I hosted, but Nava Berg is now the host of it. She just finished the first season with 12 episodes in 12 weeks. And then we had a bunch of other stuff in between, like we did productions during that time and worked with our clients to do their marketing campaigns. And then our regular jobs as well. So like hats off to her for doing all
let
that.
me ask you, do you sleep?
No, actually I don't. And it's not like I have like special powers. I just have insomnia. And
works for everyone.
Yeah, I don't sleep well or a lot, and that's not a good thing. So
yeah.
And I don't know if it's not like, well, I can't sleep, so I'm going to do work, or I can't sleep because of work. So I don't know.
Well, I'm going to try to put together some nice lullabies for you.
Oh, okay. You know what? I'll tell you, I just made a playlist of like love ballads, not to be too like powerful. I have like, I had to delete it because that's too powerful to tell me to sleep. Like, I don't know. I thought that would work.
I just been running. That's what, and that puts me out after that.
Oh,
going for runs and then just woof.
Yeah, you would think like, physical activity, I suppose it kind of gives me energy. So I can't work out. I've been doing like steezy, like dance classes online. The chagrin of my daughter, nice. She does not like it. So, so I've been doing that. But I used to think like, okay, I'll just wear myself out playing Onward or like VR, but it gets your heart rate going so much. So it's like, don't even bother. You need to like not do that if you're trying to sleep.
What are some of your favorite VR games?
Games. Oh, interesting. So gaming, I'm pretty new to it in VR. So I play Onward. That's it. I did play Down the Rabbit Hole, which I feel like more an experience because it's like an Alice in Wonderland escape room puzzle type, and it had like storytelling involved with it, so that was really fun. And Pixel Ripped 1995, nice. It just came out, and I watched Gamertag. He was streaming it yesterday, and I can't get past level 1. Okay, I'm gonna get to the boss, and I'm like, that's it. Like, it's sad, but I'm like, why can't I beat it? I mean, I make it to the boss, so I almost kind of, but it's really, really cute and fun game. It also has that meta, you're in a game playing a game. And like at the same time, doing 2 games, and it has just really cute graphics and throwback 95, and so yeah, I only because we just watched Gamertag play that yesterday. But I guess the other games I would play, I do play them, but I wish there was more people to play with. Less Star Blazer is an RTS, and I really want that to be an esport as well. So those guys are really awesome too. I'm sure you met them. They're awesome. So.
But your favorite game is Onward, and I know that something important is coming up. If you want to mention that.
Sure. Well, it's important to the players who are making it, but there's the championships for season 9 coming up. So with VR Master League, that's the league. That's like the league for VR, really. We have 6 games, but not just the games, but like when people ask me how much do we play and how much do we practice, like my first season's like 15 to 20 hours a week. And that's on on top of work and everything. This is about how much you practice with your team. And then the seasons, there's like 3 in a year, and there's 16 weeks, 14 weeks.
That's a job.
And then the finals. So I guess plus 3 weeks. So about 17 weeks. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it is insane. But I started doing shoutcasting for it. And that's actually a lot of fun. So I was like, okay, I need to calm down, because I have a full-time job, which keeps me really busy. And then I do stuff with VRespawn, which is like almost like it's full-time job as well. And then the production, which is why I have Nava doing the Hive, because I was just like, I can't. And I was like, okay, well, it's done now. But people were like, well, you can't just not do it anymore. So I was like, and then
watch me.
Yeah. So then I was like, well, let's get something to do it. And seriously, Nava was just like, she's so awesome. So I was like, I want to get her in to do it. And the production team is amazing. So shout out to Project and Cami and Bullet. Those are our gamer names too. We don't know each other by our real names. Come on, that's weird. So, so they run the production every week, and I do the buzz sporadically. It's supposed to be every week as well, but I was like, I can't. I'm so, I find it a little bit sporadically, and that was the buzz is just like a fun. That the videos that you saw earlier is just like a fun way for me to talk with people in the VR community. So without the game on camera, and the cool thing about that is some players are like, we've never seen each other before, so they've played together for a long time. So this weekend will be the culmination of a season of playing together for 14 weeks, and there's 4 teams that are competing for the title, and I'll be joining the other casters and analyzing the plays and hanging out.
Awesome. That's very exciting. We have a clip of some gameplay that we can show now.
Sure, yeah.
TNT is at cap. This is very smart plays from Coletos. They are not going to let this opportunity go to waste, and it's interesting that TNT isn't pressuring this right now.
Just die.
Wow. And that's an interesting moment as a defensive player, right? Because you don't want to obviously go charging headlong into enemies, but they're obviously not killing you, right? The pistol player is clearly not shooting at you. The bullets clearly aren't landing for a reason. You have to make that very
clearly.
Okay.
So who are the Coletos?
So I have to say a few things first.
Say a few things.
Okay. The first thing is shout out to the casters who casted that game, which is Nightfire and Wookie. That's who you heard talking. And you might have met them, actually. They were also at OC6. So Nightfire is the lead caster for VRML. So he basically runs the show and gets us onboarded. Wookie is new with me as well. And we also started playing the same time as well. And the team we played against, Fury, is one of my favorite teams. And they're probably going to be mad at me for showing that clip because it was against and
friendly fire.
One of their players is a good friend of mine, and he also just started producing for the Hive and VRespawn too. So sorry, TFH. We lost the overall game. So.
But at least you disclosed that.
Yeah, the reason why I showed that clip is because it was so well done in the way that the casters showed it, and it really does highlight really cool aspects of Onward, and that's the reason why I play it, is the team aspect of it. And it was a very well coordinated, like my team, they had a play, right? And the play was rushed down, and you have to send the uplink, which is the objective of the game. So you have to put in a 7-digit code that you memorize at the start of the round, and the round 6 minutes. You have 6 minutes to get to the objective near the satellite dish and enter that code. And so they did a really good job of coordinating that. And you saw they didn't kill that last guy because they needed him alive in order to put the code in 2 points. So it looked really cool how they did it, and it was very well coordinated. And to be fair, it was against a new player who should have just died. That's why they're saying, like, he should have just died to not give up 2 points. So that's why I chose that clip. Also because you just asked me, and I was like, I need a clip that's like on hand, and that was the first
Right. Well, at least you disclosed the winners in the end. They can't be that mad at you.
Exactly.
And I love them,
Right?
and they love me, and don't be mad at me because I have your sticker right here. So I mean, I have Clutto stuff too, but anyway, just wanted to discuss.
That's great. So I wanted to talk about, you and I and Callie Leone are going to be doing a really great panel. It's a little bit less than 2 weeks from now. It's the 27th, I believe. Yeah, I don't even know.
29th, one of those.
The 29th. It's the 29th.
There's a 2 in it, for sure.
So it's the 29th, and it's going to be at the AWE conference. And the title of our panel is Building Resilience Through Neurodiversity in XR. So basically, you and Callie and I, we've all been through some crazy stuff, to put it politely, that have sort of messed with our mental health or our cognitive function or whatever it was. For me, it was Lyme disease and epilepsy. And I found that VR is really therapeutic for tons of different people with neurodiversity, with mental health struggles, whatever the reason is. But I sort of wanted to just touch on what we're going to be talking about 2 weeks from now.
Go on.
Yeah, so for me, VR has been really therapeutic. I lost 21 IQ points over the course of my treatments and the medications I had to take, and VR has enabled me to sort of have experiences in 360 that immerse me in ways that I was struggling to experience in real life. For struggles that I have with reading and writing and even auditory processing. So VR has just been a saving grace for me, and it also enables me to exercise without having to leave the house, which has been one of the biggest struggles for me this past decade, has literally been leaving the house. So VR has done a lot for me, and I'm wondering if you can sort of touch on what it's sort of done for you.
Sure. Well, I was doing VR for quite some time before I was diagnosed with cancer. So the funny thing is, well, I don't know, it's funny, morbidly funny, but one of the symptoms of the cancer I have is when you lose inhibition, So I was mentally drunk at all times, I suppose. But basically that was it. I was and so I made a lot of weird decisions to do stuff randomly that in retrospect could have been a symptom of it. I was also going through like some really, really like high PTSD, stuff in my life. And so then to get cancer on top was like, I don't know. I did something really bad in a past life or something, but
no, couldn't be.
I don't know, but yeah. So I got cancer, and it's funny because in real life, I have really, I have a great family and friends, and I have a really lovely, rich cast of people in my life who really just are wonderful and supportive. But I think a lot of people experience this when they get sick, is people not knowing how to respond, and it being really, really hard for them to kind of be there for you. So I found that the people who were most there for me were the ones that I was most closest with, like my very, very best friend and my brothers, and then people who I was acquaintances with or was friends with at one time or another, who were like stepped up and were like, like they delivered food to my house or dropped stuff off. And I even had people who were like, didn't even know me. They just went to church with like some of the parents at the school of my daughters, and they like food and just stuff like that it's just something that I think happens to people. I'm not blaming anybody at all. I just think that it's really hard for people to accept that somebody they're close with, could be dying. So what I also found was that people in VR were really, really supportive and there because a lot of people actually had a lot of the same experiences. They joined VR for high levels of social anxiety as respite because they're caretakers, so there's a lot of reasons why people would use it as a secondary factor. The first factor might be that they're early adopters, they're gamers, they like technology, they have, income to buy the expensive hardware. So there's that as well. But one of the sayings that we have at my job is like we meet people where they are. So like we serve the people where they most will be. And I think it's just like a natural gathering place for people who might have social anxiety. It's going to be technology, right? Because if you're like agoraphobic, for example, but that doesn't negate you from the human need for interaction and connection. So how are you going to do that? And that's going to be technology. So I found that there was a lot of people who understood and were very supportive, and from there I still did my show kind of. I don't have a really hard time saying no. It's public now, everyone knows. So
don't ask for things.
It's fine. It's just I don't mind when people ask for help because they're reaching out and they're genuinely asking for help. It's probably when the insistence of it is like, well, if I can't do it, I can't do it. Or sometimes people they like to joke around and message me even though I said don't message me. Which isn't like don't message me like ever. I just mean like on Discord where it tends to blow up. So I did one day put all of the messages I get in a day and I put it all into one, and it was just like 30%, and it didn't include any work stuff or anything that was like NDA or anything. It was just like the requests all in one screenshot. And people were like, wow. Like, how do you deal with that? And I thought it was normal, but I was just like, this is why I cannot answer you right now. Okay. Like, but I did answer every single person. I wasn't able to accommodate everybody, but I did respond to each person. So I try to respond, but I definitely had this inkling of like, I totally understand now when I email like people and they don't respond. It's overwhelming at times. So
yeah. For sure. For sure.
I answer your calls, you know that.
You do answer my calls. I am so appreciative of that. I will always answer yours. But yeah, I am just so excited to do this panel with you and with Callie 2 weeks from now. So just one more shout out, guys. If you're going to AWE or you don't know what AWE is yet, go get your tickets now because it's going to be awesome. And also feel free to tweet Vivian or I because we're trying to take comments from the audience ahead of time so that we have some more touch points based around neurodiversity and mental health in XR. and what you guys would like to hear us talk about some more. So please tweet us. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's worth noting that we are doing not just kind of like a traditional panel. We wanted to do something kind of interesting where Max and Callie and I are just having a discussion between us, because if there's anyone who can understand what it's like to lose your mind, it's the three of us. So what we're inviting you to is a conversation of people who are going through it, as opposed to us like talking at you and telling you, this is what we did and this is what you can do. It's really like a way for you guys to like experience what it might be like. And I think one of the outcomes is that I have hypothesized that like people are going to relate to it, because it can't just like be us that is affected.
Can't just be us.
No, it can't just be us. I mean, and in other ways, like mine is just like so blatantly, obnoxiously obvious. Like, okay, she had cancer. Like I didn't have hair or anything, you know. And I blogged about my experience and stuff. And shared it in live streams and but the other people, they are not as open with it, and so they may be experiencing it like kind of silently. So it's like it's just showing people that like we get it. It's interesting. You said 21 IQ points. Like, is that like a legit number, or are you just like?
That's a legit number. I had to go through the IQ testing like 4 times in a lifetime, which, you know, some people never do it ever. So it was like a once a year thing for a bit. And yeah, when you lose that many points, like practically overnight, you pretty much have to figure out how to use your brain. It's a brand new brain, essentially. They say, you know, a typical person may gain or lose 3 points over a lifetime. So I changed who I am completely and had to restructure my life, and it made me who I am today. And I'm super grateful for all of it.
And then like the thing is, there are people who can really resent things that happen to them, and then there are people like you know, and Callie or myself, or just like there's a lot of people out there who just kind of have to face it head on. And I think we're lucky in that that's kind of our mindset already. And then also we have a really supportive community and an outlet. Not a lot of people have outlets. Apparently, I was told that like, oh, you have like a lot of hobbies. I'm like, doesn't everybody? They're like, no. So I was like, what are you doing when you get bored? I get so bored so quickly. So like I have to like find something to do, and it just
awesome.
That I would definitely say it was definitely playing Onward is what helped me the most. And then that community that is oftentimes you know, a little trolly, and you know, they're gamers, you know, that kind of stuff. But overall a supportive community, a lot more mature actually than your traditional gamer, and actually quite supportive. So hats off to them. They really are just a bunch of cool people who play this game that is super intense, but it helps me a lot in so many ways. So
it's amazing. It's amazing. Well, we have to wrap up, but I wanted to say thank you so much, Vivian, for being here with us. Edwin, if you could put that comment up one more time from Project 8 VR, just to highlight.
Yes, good vibes. And thank you for sharing.
And also Mother of Dragons, Breaker of Chains. We got a real OG superhero with us today. So thanks so much. And come to our panel, subscribe, tweet us, hang out, all that stuff. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much. All right. That's our show for today.
Oops.